Hello guys, in this video we are finally gonna mix our HTML with JavaScript. So let's start by doing a quick review. So I head back to my HTML file, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a paragraph. I assume you know HTML. If not, please go and learn it right now. It's so easy. And this is the syntax for the paragraph for those who don't know it. And whatever I write inside here, so let's say, or let's type hello world instead of something random. As you can see, it is displayed on my web page. Okay, so let's give you this paragraph an ID. So as you know, I explain what this is in my document.getElementById video. IDs are unique. So let's give it an idea of paragraph. So in order to link my JavaScript with my HTML fonts, variable name, let's name it P, equals to document.getElementById. Pay attention to the capital letters, and inside this parentheses, I need to type my ID. So this was just a review, and you can go and watch my document.getElementById video if you don't remember this stuff. And let's now continue learning new things. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create an input box. Okay, so this is the syntax for the input box. When I save it, as you can see, it appears in here. Oops, make it ready. So this is basically an input box. As you can see, you can type some stuff in here, but currently we can't get anything from this input box. And in order to get something from the input box, for example in YouTube, when you type your input in that search box and click enter, your input is being taken. In this video we are not gonna take inputs by clicking the key enter. We are gonna take it by clicking a button. So I'm gonna create a button. So this is the syntax for the button. Let's save it. As you can see, it's here. It appears so tiny because we need to type something in here. So if I type button, as you can see, it appears in here. Oh, okay, so it appears in here. And currently this button is also useless. In order to give these things some property, we need to link them to our JavaScript, and in order to do that we need to assign some ID to it. So ID equals input, and for button let's give it an ID of button. Let's now take those IDs to our JavaScript. We have input, let's name it input equals to document.getElementById. In here we should type the ID of our HTML element. Let's do the same thing for the button. Const button equals document.getElementById and button. So now we successfully managed to link our JavaScript to HTML. And currently it's also not taking any input. So what I mean is, if I type, let's say U, just one character, I click button, nothing happens. And in order to do that, we need to use an onClick attribute of the button. So the way it works is this: we should type the name of our JavaScript variable that is linked to HTML. So in this case, we should type button, right? And after that, we should put dot. As you can see, we have different attributes. And what we are gonna do is we are gonna say onClick equals to, we are gonna say function. So we actually didn't learn functions yet, and in the next video I'm planning on teaching it to you, but just for now memorize the syntax. When we learn function, I think it will make more sense. So we put our name of our JavaScript variable that is being linked to HTML, we put dot, and we put the keyword onClick, and we put equal sign, we put a function. So what happens is this: whatever I write inside this function will be executed when I click this button. So let me give you an example. Console.log hello world. Oops. Let's say hello world. When I save it, as you can see, we didn't print hello world just yet. But when I click my button, as you can see, it continues to print hello world. It increases this number. So that's basically it. This syntax basically means that when we click this button, what will be running? This function will be running when we click this button. Now we need to get some variables from this input box, and in order to do that, let me see, let imp, or let's say imp equals to input dot value. So let's say value. Okay, so this imp is basically a random variable name that I came up with. You can name it whatever you want. And let's console.log imp. So let me type like hello world in here, and when I click this button, hello world is being printed. So what we do is, when we click this button, this function runs. In this function we have input.value. This basically takes the string that is written in this input, and we then assign it to this variable imp, then we print that imp. Or we could have done this, which would be better. So we mixed our inner HTML knowledge with this stuff. So when we type hello world, when I click this button, now our paragraph displays whatever we write inside this input. So let's say we have input. When I click button, we change the HTML, we change the paragraph content. So this is again a knowledge that we have learned before. If you don't remember, you can check out my document.getElement by ID video. And that's basically it. Oh, I forgot to teach one more thing. Let me also show you the type of, oh, let me change this to let imp equals and the type of imp. So what do you think will be the type of input? When I type something random, when I click my button, it's a string, of course. So when we take our inputs, we store them as strings. So if you want to work with numbers, you should use the number conversion. which is like this, and etc. You can do whatever you want. So that's basically it. I didn't add any CSS to this because I think that's not necessary. We are trying to learn JavaScript. If you want to mix these stuff with CSS, you can always Google them up or watch some other CSS videos. If you have any question, please leave a comment and have a great day.